Like,
Yeah.
just wanting somebody else to have your genetics is just selfish. I'm
Yeah,
like, there's
totally
so many
selfish.
people,
It's
there's so many
selfish.
kids who need,
Homes.
who are desperate for
Yeah.
it.
In New York City alone today, there's 17,000 kids in the foster care system.
Yeah.
And that's just, and you're gonna have your own? That just blows my mind.
Yeah, our friends
And,
Carlos and Joe, they started looking into it. They got
Yeah,
married and now
we're
they're
gonna definitely do it.
And Tommy ought to have kids. When Tommy was little, even 2-year-old was so sweet with babies, and all growing up, children have been attracted to him. I've always really thought that Tommy needs to.
But they always call me Tom. I don't know why. Like, the parents are like, this is Tommy. And they're like, Tom. No, it's Tommy. Tom. And one kid called me Patsy. I don't know what that was about. Patsy. She just called me Patsy, not Tom. I was like, where did you come up with that? Anyway.
I don't know what it is, right? Kids, I think they're like attracted to me too, and I'm always like, no. But they seem like you're their favorite, but I'm always like, no, get away. But I do like them. I love them, but it's like cats. When you don't pay attention, they want more attention.
I really think there's something kind of a unique makeup about homosexuals that I'm learning. I'm so afraid to say anything that's going to be wrong or stereotypical or anything.
That's okay. We love that.
I'm just trying to. Well, it seems to me. I said the other day, it's not fair because gays get to have all these these feminine expressions really in a masculine setting, which I think is really interesting. I said, but they don't have. They don't have to have the hormonal roller coaster. That's just
I think that
fair.
could be up for interpretation with some guys.
Maybe so. Maybe
that are
so.
pretty hormonal.
But I think there's kind of a you guys will have to help me out. I don't know how to put this. This is just my sense. That there's kind of a feminine aspect. I mean, the Navajo
It's a gift.
Balance.
Well, it depends. Well,
I think
there's
it's a
a
gift.
no. That's very true. There's a spectrum. I always tell everyone it's a spectrum because I know people that are like from way down here at being as effeminate as possible, all the way up to as more masculine than the most masculine. On a hyperdrive, and it's a big fade. But if you're gay, or if you're effeminate, it shows more. And so you're more visible. And a lot of people that are out, they don't care if people know, or they don't care what people think, and they're like comfortable with it.
It's just an ability to express that maybe a heterosexual male doesn't feel.
Exactly.
I really don't know.
Right. No, socially too. Like if you're
Totally.
heterosexual, you're told that you're not allowed to live like the full or express yourself with the full spectrum of emotions
Right.
Or treat women a
expressions or
certain
whatever.
way.
Right, where there is kind of a freedom of being gay because you're like you can live in the masculine world and you can have all those benefits, but you can also take advantage of I can be as emotional or sensitive or
And everyone's
whatever
like, oh,
as
he's
I
gay,
want.
which makes sense,
And you're like,
you know?
I have a free card. I can live like a full like emotional life.
And I think that's one of the great things why you're doing this. I think it's good for people to watch this, is because like you said, there's so many people sitting in darkness that feel so hopeless and that there's not life outside. But really, like, we talk about this all the time. There's so many negative stereotypes that like, oh, it just must be so hard to be gay and oppression and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, I think it's such a gift that I look at a lot of gay guys that we are able, and I notice this with a lot of gay guys, is that we are able to connect with women on certain levels and men, and I'm not saying that straight people cannot, or that straight men especially cannot, but it seems like that we have more justification for doing that. And anytime anyone asks me, oh, I can't figure out if this guy's gay, and I always know by watching how they interact with women, because they don't have those walls up, those walls up of I'm trying to,
And women
also,
find that so
women,
frustrating.
and women feel less threatened.
Right, and they love it.
Like I have a guy with me, which makes me feel safer.
Safe, but I know he's not trying
and
to get in my
I know
hands,
that there's
so-
no ulterior motive. He just likes me for me, and
Right.
I can get the guy.
But I do think I like to just say it plain and simple. I think that being gay is a gift. And my sister, who we talk about this all the time, debate. And one day we came to this conclusion because she's so obsessed with, but why? Why did people come here gay if like there's all these like things set up where straight people have? There's such a model for being heterosexual. you know, courting someone, having kids, and then you're a grandparent, and then all these roles unfold. And we were talking about kids, and we came to this conclusion, you know, if you have to have a conclusion why gay people are here, maybe it's for that reason. You know, if there is this great, majestic God, that what if we are here to our purpose, and we've had it wrong all along, is to save these children that don't have homes. They made it so we couldn't reproduce, so we would be the ones that would take those kids.
Save
you know,
the world from
save the, you know what I mean? Like what if that was one of the reasons, and we just have no idea? You know, and then all of a sudden, like when it's all said and done, it's like you guys kind of missed the boat.
Well, also
you know, society
just like
kind of made it, and then society in the end is responsible for us not being able to do our duty.
well, also just like in communities, you think, oh, how can the homosexual population help the community? All you have to do is go to communities where there's a lot of gay people and go, oh wow, this is really nice. You know, they clean. They clean
They're
the place
so conscious
up,
about
they like try
littering
and
and
fix
picking
things,
stuff up.
they
I was
try and
just-
pull communities together, blah blah blah. You just like feel safer, like,
Yeah.
well, I don't know if it's just me because I'm gay, but you know, like I'll feel safer, I'll feel like everything's like happy, like in a place where people are gay.
I was told like last week that, you know, Hell's Kitchen is, the property values, you know, are going way up because it's becoming so gay, and that's when everything just, you know,
It becomes
brings it
desirable
up.
because
Yeah, it
everything
shows
like
you
gets
know,
better.
Everything becomes decorated nicer, and everything gets cleaner. And I told you that the first time we did that video, that I don't know what happens when you can't be your true self. Like I told you, like right after I came out, I'm like running, I'm like jogging, I'm like picking up litter, and I'm laughing inside of me. I'm like, I can't believe I'm picking up litter, and why am I even thinking about litter that's on the ground? Like, and then it's so empowering when you let that go, that dark wall that's in front of you that you can't even be yourself. Then you can worry about helping the world,
Right.
and helping people, because you're not so fixated on how am I going to fix myself, and what am I going to do, and what's the church going to do when they find out when I'm gay, and what's my parent, you know, it's just, it's very self-absorbing.
Another thing
That's
that I just thought of when you were talking about that, and I don't know why because it wasn't something you said maybe, but I also noticed that, and I don't know if you guys have felt this way, that, well, I'd like to build more of a gay Mormon, ex-Mormon, whatever community of people, just to show that there are more of us out there, and that people are healthy and happy and loving life and going on and all that stuff. But because
Like that party that
if you
just
think
showed.
that it's true that you're gay you're really judged within the Mormon community because you're gay, but you're really judged within the gay community because you were Mormon, and people are like, what, you're Mormon? Or even just like in New York, like so many people are like, oh really, you're Mormon? And you know, it's like they just like
being Christian.
no, I know, but it's just like almost no matter where you are or what you do,
Yeah.
you're going to be judged for something.
Yeah.
And even like straight Mormon friends, they come and people are like, you're Mormon? You know, like, I'm like, there ain't nothing wrong with being Mormon or whatever.
Yeah.
I had a great childhood and like, or upbringing and, you know, problems, but like anyone else. But I mean, it's just like, it's nice to know that there's a group of people that can understand on both levels.
Definitely. And just going back to what Benny was just talking about, with the service thing, when I was this is advice I would give to, you know, someone who is going through all their stuff, you know, stress right now. But when I was just, everything was just swirling around me too much, and I felt like I was just gonna die, you know, and everything was just closing in, and I would just go out and find someone who I thought their situation was just worse than mine, and help them out. And it was the most, you know, relieving and healthy thing. You know, you just feel like so much pressure was lifted when you just go and help someone else out. So I would do like an hour a week of service or something was very...
That's amazing, and that you have the wherewithal to do that too, because so many people, if they think they're gay so they have to leave the church, and they think if they have to leave the church, then all of a sudden they don't have any way of being good anymore.
Yeah.
Like of expressing, like doing, being, having a life full of service, or like giving to people, because they've lost their community where they did all that stuff before. It'd be like, if you have the ability to do that stuff, you have the ability to do that anywhere. You just, it's not that you left the church, it's because you became lazy or because you're not doing it. You can do all that stuff and it will bring the same rewards. You just have to get out and do it.